The boardroom fell dead silent the second I clicked to the final slide. The numbers glowed on the screen, plain as day, a $5,000 hike in HOA fees, and Karen's face went from smug to ashen in under 5 seconds. Her fingers freshly manicured French tips and all dug into the edge of the table like she was trying to claw back control. "What is this?" she shrieked, voice rising like a tea kettle. "Who approved this outrageous increase?" I straightened my tie and smiled the kind of smile you give when you've been waiting for this exact moment. "You did, Karen. The second you find me $1,000 for swimming in my own lake." Let me back up a sec. I'm David. I've lived in Willow Creek Estates for 15 years. When I bought the place, it wasn't the 4-bedroom colonial or the oversized garage that sold me, it was the lake. Crystal Lake. 20 acres of glassy water, half on my property, half brushing up against the HOA's turf. Came with the deed, full ownership. For over a decade, it was smooth sailing. I swam every morning. Neighbors waved, kids would fish from the edges. It was calm, friendly, real community stuff. And then, of course, Karen arrived. You know, the type clipboard queen 3-ring binder with color-coded tabs, hair too stiff to move in the wind. She strutted into her first HOA meeting like she was taking over the Pentagon, calling everything non-compliant and passing out citations like Halloween candy. Within a month, she'd issued warnings for grass-length mailbox dimensions, even a garden gnome someone had in their flower bed. 17 letters in 30 days, and then she came for me. It was a Saturday morning in June. I was out floating sun on my face, just watching clouds roll by when I heard it, that shrill, nasal, unmistakable screech. "Excuse me, sir." There she was in a blazer at the edge of the lake, waving a clipboard like it was a weapon. "You need to exit the water immediately," she barked. I swam a little closer, not too much though. Something told me she might try to tackle me with that clipboard. "Morning, Karen. Beautiful day for a swim." She didn't smile. "Swimming is strictly prohibited in community bodies of water," she said, reading from her notes like a prosecutor. Regulation 7.3.9, no recreational water activities without board approval and insurance documentation. I blinked. "Karen, I own this lake." She pushed her oversized sunglasses up like she was preparing for battle. "It borders HOA property, therefore it's governed by HOA standards." "That's not how land ownership works." She wasn't hearing it. "We'll see what our lawyers say. Consider yourself on notice." I thought that'd be the end of it. She'd read the deed, see her mistake, maybe even apologize. But no, the certified letter came that Monday. HOA letterhead. 3 pages accusing me of unauthorized use of community resources and slapping me with a $1,000 fine. I stayed civil. I hand-delivered my deed to her house, original survey maps, water rights. Even a letter from the previous HOA president confirming the lake was mine. She opened the door wearing another blazer, pink this time. "David," she said, not even looking at the papers. "The fine stands. The board has spoken." "What board?" I asked. "Emergency session," she said, all smug. I later found out that session was her and 2 friends whispering over coffee at Starbucks. The harassment escalated, daily letters, complaints to the city, gossip spread through the neighborhood. One woman actually asked if I was opening an illegal water park. That's when I stopped playing defense. I dove into 30 years of HOA paperwork, minutes, easements, land agreements, and jackpot. I found a 1998 easement that let the HOA use part of my property for lake maintenance. It expired after 25 years unless renewed, and no one had renewed it. I called my lawyer. He laughed so hard he nearly dropped his phone. "So they're fining you for using your land while technically trespassing on it." This is going to be fun. I waited for the next board meeting. Karen ran these like she was chairing a Senate committee, gavel, rules of order, all of it. I signed up for public comment and brought my own leather folder. 2 could play that game. When she called my name, her voice thick with disdain, I stood, passed out copies to the board, and calmly explained the expired easement. Karen's face went pale, then red, then this weird blotchy purple. "This is ridiculous," she stammered. "Actually, it's legal fact," I said. "But I'm willing to negotiate a new lease, $5,000 a year. That's a discount, by the way. Market rate." You could hear jaws hitting the floor. Someone dropped their coffee. Karen started screeching about extortion, but the board members were already on their laptops doing the math. Tom, the treasurer, pulled up spreadsheets like he was decoding the Matrix. "Karen," she just hissed, "you can't do this." I replied, "You've got 30 days. After that, I install a gate." Those 30 days were a circus. Neighbors who'd ignored me before suddenly became fiscal watchdogs. The community Facebook page exploded. Karen tried everything. Cease and desist letters, historical use arguments, city complaints, but none of it stuck. 2 days before the deadline, the board caved. They held a real emergency meeting, full house, people were standing in the aisles. Someone live streamed it. Karen wore a black suit like she was attending a funeral. Professionally speaking, she was. The board voted 4-1. Karen lost. Lease approved. HOA dues increased. And that was just the beginning. Residents started doing math, $160 more per household. The Facebook memes started rolling in. My favorite Karen on the Titanic clutching her clipboard, I'll never let go. Even sweet old Mrs. Patterson stood up at the next meeting and dropped a bomb about abuse of power and how maybe, just maybe, some people needed to step down. A recall petition hit that night. By week's end, it had more than enough signatures. Karen tried to salvage it, set up a table with cookies and campaign flyers. I swam past that morning, waved as she stood there alone. No one took a cookie. She lost the recall, 87% voted her out, HOA record. She stood up after the results, clutching her notebook like a shield. You'll regret this, she warned, voice cracking. Property values will drop. Someone actually laughed. She stormed out, heels echoing on the linoleum like the final nail in her clipboard-shaped coffin. A week later, I got a letter, formal apology refund check, and a revised lease offer, $500 a year, respect and cooperation included. I accepted. And then I put up a sign, big letters, private property swim free, smaller print underneath HOA leadership, not welcome. Last I heard, Karen listed her house, took a job 3 counties over. I like to imagine she's somewhere new measuring grass and prepping for another reign of terror. As for me, I still swim every morning. Sometimes I float on my back and think about that day in the boardroom, about how power can twist people up, about how justice doesn't always come with sirens or gavels. Sometimes it comes with a calm smile, a deed in your pocket, and a $5,000 invoice. Now I gotta ask, what do you think? Was I right to fight back? Or did I take it too far? Let me know, because in neighborhoods like this, there's always another storm brewing.